Moving on to the 6:30 game on ABC, we have not only do we have Georgia and Auburn, but it's also the Deep South's oldest rivalry. For those of you that did not know that, Georgia is ranked 10th in the country, 4-1 with the loss to Bama. Auburn 3-2, of course, after their two losses already on the year. Georgia, 3.5-point favorite here on the road. With a 65% chance to win, according to ESPN Analytics. This should be an interesting matchup. It has been the past couple of years when it's in Auburn. But Chase, let's sling it over to you first.
Yeah, that's actually what I was looking at. I think since 2013, there's been 6 games in Auburn, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure I'm counting this right. 2, 3. Guys, sorry, numbers are hard. That's why I talk for a living most of the time. Yeah, it's been 6 times. Twice has Auburn won. Twice, in those losses have they been a 1 possession game, or 3 times actually. It gets weird in Auburn, Alabama, guys. Freaking get that. Quinn's wearing an Alabama hat. If you're an Alabama fan, you freaking know that. It gets weird in Auburn.
Hey, Georgia fan knows too.
Yeah. Everybody knows. And it's just, and Auburn always has. I mean, I'm telling you, a freaking Pelican could be coaching that team, and there is a sound defense on the other side of that ball for Auburn. They are playing some good quality, hit you in the mouth football. Their offense might not show up that day, but gosh dang it, their defense is going to give you crap, and that Jordan-Hare Stadium will just ignite some ritual from the 1950s Indian homeland. I don't know what the heck is happening inside that stadium, but it is never anything good for the opposing team. I'll tell you that. And again, if you just watched our Oklahoma, Texas video, I hope you did. If you didn't, I mentioned how I believe Auburn is a respectable team this season. If you're looking at me like, man, break Auburn, you think Auburn's good? I do. I think they're eventually going to figure it out, but I think it's going to take a Billy Napier, EJ Lagway type of where they're going to have to put Deuce Knight in because Jackson Arnold doesn't have a brain cell up there. He's got 6 bolts in a dryer sheet up there working. I'm telling you, it's nothing. Like, he has nothing going on up there. You have a couple losses, but both on the road. Both one possession games. You gave Texas A&M that game. A top 10 team, you gave Texas A&M that game. You had like 3 possessions where you could have scored, easily could have overtaken Texas A&M, Kyle Field. You didn't. You just gave it up. Oklahoma, just better ball than you. You win at Baylor, though. It's a good one. And on the other side, Georgia has not been playing. I'm fearful of the Georgia Bulldogs this season. Nearly lost to Tennessee at Tennessee, played Alabama at home, lost against Alabama, but they've only had that one road game.
Yeah.
I'm going with Auburn to figure it out. I'm going with Auburn to figure it out at home against Jordan-Hare. I think because just a couple years ago, we watched the same game where Georgia went down to Auburn, and my goodness, they got out by the skin of their teeth. They barely got out of there. And that was the season I think Georgia ended up winning the national championship, but they barely got out, escaped in 2023. I think Auburn does some ritual voodoo stuff. Jackson Arnold might go haywire. That might be the ritual this time. I don't know. That defense is good, and Gunnar Stockton is giving me great value Jake Fromm. He's a good game manager. I think he's solid, but I think he hasn't fully figured out the offense to where he's comfortable. I think he's a 1 to 2 look read, and then he's going to run. He's going to move out. I don't think there's a running back for Georgia that has just been more committee this season. A lot of the skill players have not been as to the likes of what we've seen with Ladd McConkey, George Pickens, Brock Bowers, those kind of guys on the team. It's a solid team. Georgia's still very sound on both sides of the ball, but this team is definitely penetrable, and I think Auburn can show that this weekend.
Yeah, Georgia fans, let's be honest here. We all know that Jordan-Hare Stadium was built out of lucky horseshoes on top of a gravesite of leprechauns and unicorns and blessed by a voodoo priestess at its inaugural grand opening. We all know that.
Those are facts.
Stuff. It is facts. Like, I'm sorry, go ask LSU, go ask Georgia, go ask Bama. That A&M, like, this is how it is. To beat Georgia, you brought up they struggled with Tennessee, they struggled with Bama. What was it about those offenses they struggled? Answer, downfield pass. Can Jackson Arnold throw a downfield pass? That's I'm asking a serious question. I'm not trying to
No. He can't throw a short pass.
I, they're gonna keep it close because it's in Jordan Hare. Like, let's go. It's spade and spade. This game's in Jordan Hare. It's gonna be close. But I don't think they have what they need offensively to threaten Georgia the way you need to threaten a Kirby Smart defense. Because it's not just that you have to have a quarterback who can run. He has to be able to threaten him with the throw to keep the boxes light. Because when he can just run, think early stage Jalen Hurts, Kirby can shut that down.
Oh, yeah.
He needs to have a double threat of the pass on top of the to really threaten a Kirby Smart defense. I just don't think Auburn has what it takes to beat Georgia. Georgia's on a revenge tour. What they did to Kentucky was dirty. I feel bad for any small children that were observing that. That was inappropriate of your parents to let you watch that. Auburn will give it a fight. It's one of their two big rivals in their home stadium. They always do give that a good effort. But give me the Bulldogs to get the win by. I'm gonna say cover the spread, win by 5.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know what Quinn's talking about, Georgia did play Kentucky last week, and you look at the score, and it was, 35-14. Like, that doesn't sound terrible. They had their second string in the third quarter. Let's just throw that out there. So just for those of you that don't know. Chase, I'm glad you brought up the game 2 years ago in Jordan Hare. Because I think that's an interesting callback because it reminds me of this game. It was a night game. However, Auburn is better this year than they were 2 years ago in the same situation, and Georgia is worse. Now, with that being said, as a unit, Auburn is better, but my heavens, is their offense terrible. Like me and Quinn talked about LSU's anemic offense. This right here should be illegal. It should not be allowed to trot on the field and call themselves an offense because it's not. Their offensive line is like Swiss cheese. I mean, it's basically just sitting like 5 traffic cones down and expecting them to block. That's what's wrong with Jackson Arnold. Like, I think he could be a downfield threat if he had the time. And that's the problem with Auburn is their offensive line is so bad he never has the time. However, their defense is elite. I mean, you lose 2 games in a row on the road in a one-possession game against 2 top 10 teams. Pretty good ball team down there in Auburn, Alabama. Give me Auburn to get the upset here. I'm riding with Chase here, even though I shouldn't. I'd planned to go Auburn from the jump here. I just think their defense is going to be too much for Georgia to handle. Gunnar Stockton is a little iffy. He can be. And, yeah, there's just weird things that happen at Jordan, especially at night. Night game in Jordan Hare is when it gets really wild. So we have 2 for Auburn, me and Chase and Quinn. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me add this one thing. I think this is a win for Hugh Freeze, kind of like Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M beating Nick Saban. I don't think this is the one that propels Hugh Freeze. Like, man, Hugh Freeze is going to be the coach, and like he's going to be so good at Auburn. I think it's going to be a marquee win, but I think eventually Hugh Freeze is going to be found out not to be that guy. But I think this can be a significant win, kind of like Jimbo Fisher, Texas A&M.
Yeah, it's a good callback there. Guys, let us know down below if we're right or wrong. I know that this game is a very cool game. It's a very good rivalry, so it should be a lot of fun there at 6:30.